I don't really have much appreciation for mass-made knives. It's stuff that's just coming off the machines and really doesn't have spirit or soul in it. But I do love handmade knives, and especially old ones. And this has been something that's been in my life since I was a little kid. And my parents, when they traveled, would bring back knives for me from different lands and different places. Now, where each one came from and what its history is, those are kind of lost in time. So this video is about you trying to help me. Do you know anything about any of these knives? What can you say about them? What were they used for? Any information you can give, put it down in the comments, and maybe we will unravel some mysteries. Call this one the Monterrey Bowie. It's clearly a Bowie knife, and looks like a pewter handle with bone or maybe horn, and that brass eagle on top. Now, this one has some interesting inscriptions there on the blade, or acid etching, maybe. So, there's that Monterrey. And then on the other side, we've got, I don't know what that is. Any thoughts on that? And then this nice hunting scene. Obviously a rifle there, so that can tell us a little bit about, I guess rifles have been around for a while, haven't they? So what do you think of this one? Share in the comments. I remember a friend seeing this one once and saying, "Wow, you've got a Gladius." Well, this one, it's in pretty rough shape. I remember correctly, I think it came from somewhere in Africa. Now the blade it's not a really great steel. It seems pretty soft, and not an awesome blade on there. Seems pretty old. And I don't have any other clues about this one. Is this a knife or a sword that is used somewhere in the world? Share anything you know. I've had this one for a long time. I call it Dragonfang. And this came from an antique store. It's obviously a handmade knife that someone put some love into, and it's pretty cool looking. I love the sweep of the blade. And he left it really rustic, and a little hand-carved wooden handle. It would be the coolest thing in the world if you knew something about the origins of this knife. I have no idea where this one came from. It looks like just this kind of carved wooden baton. But right here, there's a blade hidden in there. And it's not a super high quality blade, but it's pretty sharp. Has a good point on it. And look at that inlay on the wood. I mean, somebody put a little work into this. Now on the other side, we've got this super long-handled little kind of punch dagger. Is this supposed to be kind of a secret stealth weapon? Is this something common from some culture that I've never heard of? Tell me what you know. Now this one is mysterious mostly for the handle and the sheath. If you look up close at the blade, this is an old Sheffield Endure, it's a kitchen knife, I believe. And somebody took that kitchen knife and then they did a lot of leather work and fiber work here to really try to make a lovely looking handle, but it gets even weirder down with the sheath. You can see that same leather work and the fiber work, but then there's this big paddle or spoon at the end. And I have no idea why that shape is there. You can see some hints of some inscriptions that were on that paddle. They've mostly faded away over the years, but you can kind of see that there were just some markings on there. As a teen, I called this my bear knife. I never used it for anything. It has a wicked sharp blade, and I would carry it in case I ever met that bear, and I thought, that's the only time I'll ever use this, if I meet a bear that wants to eat me. Now, I talked to someone once, and they thought maybe this was used in fields or agriculturally in Vietnam, and there's a little bit of writing on the blade that has what appears to be a date, but there's also some words, I think. So, does anybody recognize this? Can you read this? Tell me what the bear knife really is. Okay, this one's the weirdest one of all. Sometimes I think this one was just made to sell to a tourist because it's so odd. But there's a lot of work put into that sheath. Look at that woven sheath. Pretty intricate, pretty beautiful. Now, the sheath, really nice, very high quality. The handle is not a super comfortable handle. When I pull this out of the sheath, you see it, so it's not really meant to fit in the hand. And the weirdest part is that the blade is not on the back there, but is right there, right? So it's kind of a curved blade, a little like an ulu, and maybe that was the use for it. I mean, if you've used an ulu before, if I'm pronouncing that right, those are great choppers in the kitchen. But when you hold it that way, I don't know, what was the function of this thing? So, really oddly shaped knife. I have no idea what it was used for, where it came from. Anything you can surmise or share about the origins of this blade would be awesome.